This technique will help you to turn your good basses into great killer basses, which sound better than anything you have ever done before. So this will be the bass from the beginning of our project. And we will turn it into that bass today. If you aren't already subscribed to this channel, there are many more cool videos coming on kick and bass, arrangement, drums, and many more things. So if you really want to improve and level up your skills, then hit that subscribe button now. So let's now record out a note of the bass so that we can sample it. And I usually take the second bass note for a reason, because on my first bass note I have some processing which cuts out the lows. On the third bass note I'm usually shortening it in a way so it doesn't run into the kick. So the second one is usually the best to process for me. And we will do it like this. We will just make the note very long so that we have like enough space, and we will remove all the tools, for example like this one, which is shortening it, and we will also remove here the shaper box. I don't think it does much here, but I want to reduce that one. And we will also remove the filter, so that's a really important thing, which we will see in a second. And then we will record that one out, and for that I routed here the second bass note, and we want to go post effects so that we get the full volume and not have anything reduced here. So once we have done that, we will make a nice clean cut, and we will do the clean cut for one full cycle. So you can either choose where the thing crosses like the zero crossing, but that's not always super easy because we have some pre-ringing from EQs and stuff. So what I usually tend to do is I look where that thing actually starts, and in that case it starts here. So what we can do is we can just go like a few samples back. So let's say this is like the point here where this thing starts. So let's get 5 samples back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we cut it here. Then we would do the same here. But now let me show you a little trick. I had a nice discussion with Tristan and with Dash Glitch. We made a long video call, which we'll soon release some videos as well. And we found out that it's actually better than just cutting here to cut in the second cycle. So we go back actually from, let's say here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Cut that, and as we are not starting zero crossing, we will add like a little fade here. Don't go too far because otherwise you will kill the transient. And then we will do the same thing here. So we could say from here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we have a nice clean cycle. We will also fade that one, and I usually tend to put off like the warping, and we'll consolidate it with Command J, and we have our nice clean sample, and we will remove everything else here. So that's our bass, which we wanna then use for our resampled bass line. So now we're gonna re-import our bass sample into a blank init of Serum. I already prepared here like an instance of Serum, and all you need to do is you need to find the sample in Finder, and then we will copy it here into our project so that everything is neat and organized. We call this bass D145 and the project name. You can also like export it like this if you want into Wave. Doesn't really matter much for the process. Then we will go here into Serum, and we go into the wavetable editor. And here is a little nice function. It's called audio to single cycle. And we will use that one and open our bass. And now we have our bass imported. It should be one cycle. It should kind of like look beautiful here on both edges. And from there, we can craft our bass. And we are using the inner preset for a reason, because every parameter is a little bit different in my opinion, and we will need to reset up everything here. But once you have reset this up, you can also save this for future use, because it will be a bit more similar for all the re-imported basses. And I will actually put that one to download for you on my Gumroad shop. You can set a filter, so I usually use like 18 or 24. 24 is a bit darker, 18 is a bit more open. We'll need to put the random phase down. We will put the phase here completely to the front this time, and we will need to craft an envelope for this. And this is actually the same as for any bass envelope. So we want to have it unipolar. We want to set it up somewhere here, let's say, and we want to make a range. And I explained that in heavy detail in my course, how every parameter works, so I will do this now like very quickly. But the process is the exactly same as if you would create a normal bass. You need to here and set up all these envelopes and filters. But if you want to know more, I have some tutorials here on my YouTube, and I have a really extensive 1 month tutorial on my course about all of these parameters and how to set it up, like really killer. So let's see, we will make this one here as well. So we will map that. And here as well, we don't want to have any attack on our envelopes. And let's see how that will work out. Let's copy some nice notes for us. So we will need to have bass notes here with different velocities. We can make them a little bit longer than with the processed bass, because all the processings tend to kind of like stretch the notes out a little bit at the end. And we will also map our velocity here to the level. And then we can check how our bass sounds. And I think it already sounds pretty good, so we won't need to adapt much here. If you like this video, then please hit a thumbs up. That helps me to spread this video, and that's cool for the channel, yeah? And I want to show you a few quick tricks, which I recently did to my bass. It's a quite good technique. So what we will do is we will copy oscillator A to B with mods. And that's actually how I did it before, and we will split that. So we will here only have the fundamentals, so clear high frequencies till the end. And here we will remove the fundamentals, so we will clear low frequencies. And now we have split up the signal. Everything is kind of like still the same. It should sound the same. And from here, we just make a little group, paint that little happy trees. And then we can just do following. We can switch that one off. And we have the subs here, and we have the tops here. And here we switch that one off. And now we are able to mix this as we like. So we can open our Spectrum analyzer and see how we want to mix that. And I think it's pretty good, but there's some stuff which I didn't like so much here. So first of all, I want to make the second harmonic a little bit higher. We can do this right in here, actually. Remember, this is the second harmonic because we don't have a first one here. But what I would recommend you actually is to copy A to B, because then we have like a backup which we can use. You can also always go back, but might be nice to have a backup. And then we can increase that one. Can lower that one a bit, maybe increase a bit more. And from here, we can actually do more. So we can reprocess our tops if we want, because now it's a little bit cleaner as we have removed like a lot of the multibands and all that kind of like processing which stretched out our bass signal. We can like add like a little bit, and theoretically we could like redo this process if we do like a lot here. And to be honest, here I tend to go with natural phase instead of linear phase. And then we can do this a bit to taste. We can always still do it spectral here. Yeah, I guess we can boost, go down a bit here. That's pretty nice. Let's see together with the kick. And we are a little bit low in volume, so we have a nice distribution here, but the whole kind of like re-importing process made our signal a little bit less loud. So what we can do is we can ramp this up in Serum a bit. So maybe we go a bit higher here. And we go with the sub as well. And we'll see. And then we can finally check the note lengths again. So that one I usually do with LFO tool, and we can see how the overlap of notes is. And we can do one more thing. Instead of like phase aligning the kick, what we can do is we can cut a bit out the subs here with that second one. So what I tend to do here is set this to a quarter note and set this to 2. And then we can just do this. We make like a rough cut here, or depending if you want to like leave a little bit, you can do like this. So it depends a bit on the taste if you want to completely have it cut. If you leave a little bit, then you need obviously to phase align it again. If you have like 0, then you obviously don't need to phase align it because, or you could actually for the tops, but it's not as important as you have like the subs, because the kick is mostly like sub, and that's kind of like the dangerous thing where you get the conflicts. Could use this LFO then and use this on the volumes. And if you want to change the phase, you can actually do in here. But as you see, it will change the bass notes as well. So theoretically, we could now split this again and make a different phase for that half than for that, but I don't like that idea so much. So I will just keep it here. I think it was nice. And I want to also check that our bass is not running into the kick. So we can turn the kick on and off and see if there's some bass still here. And we see there's like a little rest of bass. Also check the timing. So the timing is really good. It's like all here, right on time. And we want to avoid that we have this little thing here. So there's like multiple options. So one would be that we do this here. So we need to increase this to 4. And we can do this here again, and we can like add like a little complete cut here, so that will remove all the subs from the bass. So let's check if that already solved it. It didn't, so we will need to do the same thing here. So we can have this here and map that one also to the volumes. So, but as you have seen, you cannot like solve this like 100% in the synth because we have release time on our notes. You can make it like a little bit cleaner with that, but a better option is if we place an LFO tool here, and you need to make sure that here, because we have an Pro Q in here, that the phase is correct again, because the notes really need to start where the note starts. So our first bass note here, second, third. So check that first. So you want to have it like this. Then we can set it, then we can remove the first one here and just smooth this out. And you hear like there's a click, and the click comes from cutting the note here in the end. So we'll do this. And then we are completely clean here. We can reactivate our kick. And I think it turned out to be a really nice killer bass, and you can download this kicking bass for a small donation. So I'll put it for like €1 on it, and you can use it as an educational thing. So you will need to put your own bass sample in or tweak some parameters, because I will use this in a track and you might otherwise get content ID flagged or something. So please have your investigation, use this as a reference point for yourself, and have fun with it.